So your Chiefs finally made a move for a big name wide receiver and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, he's not the player that he was when he was back with Houston. But do you think that D-Hop can save a struggling Patrick Mahomes? Will it be Mahomes saving DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh, I don't think either one of them needs saving. But I do think that this is a valuable addition. And there's a lot of layers to it. First, let me actually talk from Hopkins' perspective. You know how many quarterbacks DeAndre Hopkins, DeMonte, has caught a pass from? He was drafted the same year as Kelsey. So this is year 12 for him. Drafted in 2013. Give it a guess. How many quarterbacks he's had?
6 or 7.
You're close. 17.
Holy
he has caught a pass from 17 quarterbacks. Okay? So, DeAndre Hopkins, who is an all-timer, 5-time All-Pro, 3-time first-team All-Pro, he has caught passes from in his Houston days before Deshaun Watson got there. He had Brandon Whedon, Case Keenum, Ryan Mallett, who passed away, Matt Schaub, TJ Yates, Brock Osweiler, Brian Hoyer. Those were his quarterbacks before Deshaun. They then get Deshaun. He gets 38 games with Deshaun, and they're awesome together. He then goes to Arizona. They have Kyler Murray. They have 30 games together. Pretty good. Kyler gets hurt. With Arizona, he then gets Colt McCoy, Trace McSorley, and Chris Streveler. He then signs with the Titans and gets Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, and there's one other quarterback that I'm leaving out, but that's all right. Those are his quarterbacks.
Deshaun Watson in Houston was the best quarterback of all of those.
By a mile. And so,
life.
it's as bad as it gets, man.
Malik Willis, maybe? Oh, it's Malik Willis, I think. Is that the name you left out?
No, because Malik Willis never threw him he never caught a pass from Malik Willis.
Okay.
He has Malik. There are 2 people, not of the 17. 19 people have thrown him a pass. He's caught one from 17. The 2 who have thrown him a pass they didn't catch one from is Malik Willis and Derrick Henry. 0 for 2 on targets by those 2 guys. So for D-Hop, this is an oasis in the quarterback desert. And it's a really cool deal that it's not like a make-a-wish thing, but there is a cool thing that happens every year in the NFL that I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more, which is the preeminent dynasty with the best quarterback we've ever seen once a year surveys the landscape and says, who can we save? And who can we give a new lease on their career that's with a terrible quarterback situation, dysfunctional franchise? And 2 years ago, they're like, you know what? Young Joka, Kadarius Toney, come on down to a real organization. Learn to play football with the Chiefs and play your cards right. You get to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And he's like, okay, deal. And he did, and they did. And then the next year, they look at the landscape again. Who can we save? Old friend McCole Hardman. We'll get you out of the Jets dysfunction. Come on down, and guess what? You'll get to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And this year, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Look around. You know what? Will Levis, Mason, come on to Kansas City, and in a few months, DeAndre will get to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It'll be great for all parties involved. Now, you know I don't love old receivers, and he's 32, which is why one of the reasons the Chiefs are the Chiefs is because they didn't give up a 3rd-round pick for Devontae Adams, a 3rd-round pick for Amari Cooper. They gave up a 5th-round pick, and Tennessee's picking up half the money for DeAndre Hopkins. And what Hopkins will do is play the exact role Rashee Rice was playing. He won't be as good after the catch, but he'll be excellent at the catch point. The slot receiver, that'll be a Mahomes 3rd down guy. And it'll work. It just flatly will work. I think the Chiefs would have been fine anyways, but this is minimal cost, not super high upside, but a little upside, just like I really liked the Amari Cooper move for the Bills. I like this move for the Chiefs. There was rumors that, the Rams want a second-round pick for Cooper Kupp. I would not have wanted that. That's too high of a price, and Cooper, even though he's a great player, his ankles might be shot, his injury stuff. It's less of an injury concern with DeAndre Hopkins, and he's just going to be a reliable third down target. So,
Titans can drive a harder bargain than that. Isn't it like kind of wild? Like, what's at stake for the Chiefs? They give up D-Hop for a fifth rounder, conditional fourth. It's like, I don't know.
Well, and by the way, you know what? So a couple things. One is, I'm glad you mentioned the conditional fourth part of it, because I called it a fifth rounder. I really should call it a fourth rounder, because the condition is the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, and obviously they're going to. So it'll end up being a fourth round pick. I don't think there was a huge market, and I also think that while the rest of the league, like, there's been a lot of reports of teams don't want to help the Chiefs three-peat, and there's, the Chiefs got to pay a premium on this stuff. The Chiefs and Titans did business this summer. The Chiefs traded L'Jarius Sneed to Tennessee. So there is a relationship there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe, I'm not sure, but I do wonder, I don't know this at all. Raw, naked speculation. I wonder if when Brett Veach was negotiating the trade with Tennessee, and Brett said, I want X, and Tennessee said, well, how about Y, and then they're going through it, if he brought up to him, hey, all right, we wanted an extra sixth-round pick in this deal, but we'll take your guys' last best offer. Keep that in mind. If at some point this year you decide you want to be sellers in regards to DeAndre Hopkins. Because Hopkins had looked at the Chiefs a couple years ago. I think there were a lot of us that going into the year were like, man, Tennessee's not going to be as good as they think they're going to be. That's a guy on this very show. I said his name. He was one of the first names I listed because I didn't think he'd be that expensive from a draft or a salary compensation. So those relationships do matter, and those relationships are good. And I expect Demonte and Nunez follow-up to see DeAndre in a few packages on the field this Sunday against the Raiders.
Yeah, so I mean, the Raiders are the most recent team to beat the Chiefs, and they also took the offseason to mock Patrick Mahomes with the whole Taylor. Kermit the Frog thing. Mm-hmm. So what do you think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have in store for them this Sunday?
Oh, I don't think they're going to forget. I think Mahomes will do something and then do a mimic Kermit the Frog thing himself. I think that's totally on the board. I also think that they're not going to forget Antonio Pierce saying he has the recipe to beat the Chiefs. And listen, you are the last team to beat the Chiefs.
I didn't hear
we'll see how that works out. Yeah, over the summer, he's like, yeah, we have the recipe. And so, listen, as long as we double team Max Crosby every play, this game should be no problem whatsoever. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.